Welcome to the Position 1 Overwatch 2016 Open Skirmish 2016
So long!
for Overwatch by Position 1.
In Australia, only Australia 2016.
I am your host, Banplux, and we have another host, Obituary 7.
Yes.
Welcome.
2 for the price of nothing.
Which is a pretty good deal.
It is a good deal, actually.
And to kick us off, Pine Trees rings the bells of victory, or defeat, depending on how this upcoming match goes. For tonight, we have Slipstream versus Shimada Clan. And before we get started, I'm going to fix that overlay. We have Shimada Clan in the blue. Venrus, Doge, Mooj, Jake, JTD, and Jornada. And then for Slipstream, we have Amid, Thermal Lance, Gravy, Ginger Ninja, Weldos, and Pine Trees.
And on the side of good old Shimada Clan here, we're seeing a Reaper for Fenris. For Venrus? Doge on the Roadhog, which is a favourite of his, we know. Mooj back on the Mercy as well. Jake as Reinhardt. JTD bringing out the Bastion. First Bastion we've seen, I think. And Jornada on Junkrat for that splash damage.
Actually, we did have a Bastion last night on the game that you were too good to come and spectate. So
Alright, look,
this is Bastion number 2. And here they go. They're jumping out there. We've got Reinhardt on both sides, as usual, shielding those teams. But the payload gets a move on. Ginger Ninja leading the charge.
Leaving JTD pretty vulnerable there by jumping down, but JTD is smart enough to jump off and heal up, but it's not enough. They are targeting that Bastion, and Amid went straight in for the kill.
Yeah, good push here so far. Been pretty straightforward from Slipstream, just keeping that aggressive play up there. Gravy, you can see jumping right in there as is Lucio. Pine Tree sort of holding up that front line until they get Ginger Ninja back on the Reinhardt.
And Jake pushing in to see if he can kind of disrupt that a little bit with Thermal Alliance up top, pushing those Sparrow Bombs out. It's a tough spot for him to be in if he's going to stay alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Doge here going back in, gets pushed off by the Maywall though. Looked like he was probably going to go for a sneaky hook there, but didn't get the chance in the end.
It's interesting, we've got a pretty similar comp for both teams if you think about it. I mean, we've got the support, double tank on both sides, but on the side of Slipstream, they decided to pick up D.Va as well, which really, if you're trying to get in the face of the other team, which is exactly what they're doing here, is a great move.
I think D.Va's a relatively safe choice as well. Very versatile tank. Can be aggressive, can be defensive, really just fills that role that you need, particularly when you don't know what the enemy team is going to play, which on the round 1 of this match, obviously, they don't really know what they're going to see just yet.
Absolutely. I mean, it was interesting just then with the barrage from Thermalance, setting that up and then seeing Gravy actually break it down for them when he heard Jornada's reptile coming
And there
in.
goes Jake, stunned. Pushes on Pine Trees there. It doesn't look like they've picked up anything. No, Pine Trees goes down and
Out of the
Gravy
neck.
Also goes down to follow.
Alright, they're getting a bit of a push back here. I'd be interested to see if anyone's going to stay on the payload to continue to push it back.
They can't get to it.
Definitely a good pushback there from Shimada Clan. They start off a little bit shaky, but they have taken advantage of that push they got and have pulled it back a little bit.
Yeah. Slipstream probably looking to group up here. We can definitely see Ginger Ninja's been split off a little bit, but he should be grouping up with the team. There they are.
Well, I mean, all Slipstream
Ginger
really
going
needs
alone.
here is one good solid push. I mean, the next payload checkpoint isn't that far off. They really do just need a little bit of extra time. So if they can take out Mooj, if they can take out Jake, they might have a really good push.
You were right about Shimada. They went back to the payload and started pushing it back rather than do what they did last game that we watched them, where they were sort of playing a bit more offensive with a Pharah.
And in goes through ult. We've had Maze, Blizzard be tossed, and we had Pine Trees take out 2 of the Shimada Clan, but Mooj in there with those saves brings them right back up.
Yeah, Slipstream didn't make as much progress as they probably hoped they would get there. And that's mostly thanks to JTD's ult. That Blizzard did a lot there, really slowed down that push.
Yeah, and Mooj there negating the entire push that was done with D.Va's ult. I mean, the thing with D.Va's self-destruct, it is very much a disruption ulti, but it's surprising to actually see kills off that ult these days.
Yeah.
People are pretty good at getting out of the way, so to secure those 2 kills would have been pretty disheartening to have them completely negated straight after.
Yeah, we see a mid now has switched over to a Pharah as well. I think they're probably going to do that for the verticality. They probably want to stop getting caught in these bottlenecks that have been slowing them down. Particularly this one has been a real stopping point for them early on.
Yeah, JTD, they're trying to get the...
Ginger goes right
trying
in.
to take care of the flank and brought back by Mooj, who knew she was doing seriously good work on that corner there.
Ginger goes down again. And once again, Slipstream, they just can't break through here.
Yeah, they're really making good use of that choke point under that bridge. I mean, all that they really need to do on the slide of Slipstream is get a good flank off and take out some of those other players. And we can see Pine Tree's coming in to try and do what Digger does best, but they are just immediately locking on and getting some damage off.
If they're going to do a flank play like that, the whole team needs to be on board. I think that was a good move by Pine Trees to go through that side barrier there, and he actually pulled 3 players off.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good decision.
The rest of the team just didn't push with it though.
No, and I mean, without the rest of the team being able to follow that up, it's just not enough.
Ginger's shield goes down, they're going to have to pull back once again. Jake going nice and deep. Gets the kill he was looking for, it looks like.
Great hook from Doge there. But now Doge is unfortunately stuck on the other side of that Maywall from his own team. But Mooj again,
he can't keep a good Doge down. He's back up again.
Not letting anyone go down today. I really do think we've seen very few deaths that haven't been rezzed.
Yep.
And whole hop comes off.
This is going to be it. No time left for Slipstream. Oh, they've got the overtime there, but only because the package has been pushed back so far, really. It's not the overtime they were probably looking for, but it looks like they're actually getting some push back here. Thermal Lance brings Ginger Ninja back into the fray, who can drop his ultimate there.
From behind, that's going to definitely secure them a bit more of a push, and really, if they stay on it and get it to that next point, they are good to go. It's going to take a while for the others to get back from the point. Mooj has Resurrect up again, so she's saying, go in for a good push, and I will bring you back.
Yeah, but you've got to wonder, where is everybody?
Well, I think at this point they're all hanging a little further back. They know that that Resurrect is up, but they really do.
They've got to stay on the point here. They're going to lose their overtime timer. Okay, Welders and Thermal Lance jumping in now. They've got Pine Trees behind. Great ult by Jake there.
Thermal Alliance jumps back up into the air to try and gain a little bit of extra time for his team, but no one's going to get there in time. That's going to be the end of the first match.
Round 1 is going to go to Shimada Clan.
A well-played round there. Mooj again on fire with that Mercy play.
Yeah, you know, for a Mercy, she really showed enough. Mercy.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. Alrighty, and a good play of the game here from Jake, and that hammer down.
Stun. That was during the overtime as well. That's
Beautiful.
pretty much what secured that win there. It was always going to be an uphill battle for Slipstream to try and get back in there, but that was a good ult.
Absolutely.
But now we get to see what happens in round 2. Not surprised to see Mooj take a fair few votes there.
I have to say, it was a pretty even matchup for most of that.
It was.
I was pretty impressed by how those guys played against each other. Doge is having some issues with his ping, unfortunately.
Yep, and we're gonna jump out for a quick second to remake the match
and give them a chance to get back in there. Poor Doge.
Lobby. Sorry about this. We'll be right back with round 2 in just a moment. And we are back finally for round 2. With any luck, the teams will be on the right side. They've definitely swapped colours, which is a positive. So that looks like we've got Slipstream on the left in the blue and Shimada Clan on the right.
I've been alerted that I've been calling Thermal Lance Thermal Alliance.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with it. I like it. I think Thermal Alliance sounds cool. Some sort of heat-based, welding-based friendship. It's good. I'm all for it.
I get what
and
you're
it
going
goes
for,
well with Weldos.
But I still don't
because
like
he's
it.
welding. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you. I'm out. Good
well,
night.
if you want, you could call Doge 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 Doggy Doggy Doggy.
Oh, that's so cute.
But don't, because it's not the name.
Oh, but it's better.
Let's have a look at these lineups. What do we got?
Well, what do we got? Alrighty, so on the side of Slipstream, we've got Amit on the Reinhardt, Pine Trees on the Torbjorn. First time we've seen Torbjorn in this matchup. Thermal Alliance on the Mercy, Weldos on Zarya, Gravy on Junkrat, and Ginger Ninja on Soldier 76.
You must be mistaken.
Did you say Thermal Lance was on Zarya?
Sorry?
That's not right.
No, I said Thermal Lance was on Mercy.
That's correct.
And I
Good.
said Weldos was on
Excellent
Zarya.
correction. Well done.
Nope.
Let's get going here.
And
Looks
on the
like we're going to
opposite
go out of the
side
side
for
door
Shimada.
for Shimada. No time to list their team, so we just won't. Please read the screen for further team lineup inquiries.
We're seeing
And
moves
they're
on
right
the
on the point.
Lucio here, and Jornada coming in on the Mercy. Interesting. Double support and double support, double tank. That same meta we've seen in most of our games so far.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that, in that first game, Shimada Clan really needed to pump it up, and Lucio is going to allow them to do that. JTD going real high with the Pharah here.
I see what they've done here. They've matched up the Jornada with JTD so that they can basically stick together as much as possible, I suspect. And as I said that, they stopped being together. So never mind. Clearly, I am wrong.
You can see him mid here getting isolated on the side. He's showing a lot of Reinhardt, but he's probably going to go down to the 5 around him.
A bit hard to compete with that many around you, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's with a heavy Reinhardt we report that he did in fact go down.
Shit. I just can't do it.
This is a PG stream, so please cease with the language. And that's point 1 for JTD's team. They're going to keep moving on here. Shimada Clan looking good so far.
Alrighty. I
Bit
have
of a
to
skirmish
say,
at the doors.
Shimada Clan is taking them out pretty quickly. Very impressive number of fire blitzers. I'm not sure 100% off the top of my head what they're called. I don't play a lot of Reinhardt from Jake. But yeah, he has been taking out quite a few people on the side of Slipstream with those fire blitzers. That's what I'm going to call them now.
Yeah, look, I don't know what they're called either, but I'm pretty sure it's not fire blitzers.
I'm just going with the Thermal Alliance theme. So,
Okay, look, fair enough.
alright, Gravy looking a little
Slipstream
isolated there,
regrouping
but
here. JTD gets brought back up by Jornada.
yes, and Jornada and JTD sticking together and using that damage boost, which is working really well for them.
Keeping that pressure up, right?
And a beautiful, beautiful Zarya ult there.
No follow-up though, but Jake does get his ult in there, and mid's going to go down.
Heroes never
Lost Gravy as well. Phenomenal res by Thermal Lance.
Beautiful res.
Jake with a great jump in there.
I mean, that really bought them... That brought them their whole harbour.
He brought 3 members of his team back, but it actually
4.
didn't really count for too much there. Didn't
Yeah,
really stop
but I
the
mean,
push.
even buying that time,
the
I mean, they
Torbjorn
are
turret
very
got
far
down.
along in the push process, but buying
Yeah.
any time that you can, especially if you are the support and you don't have anyone else to fly to.
Yeah.
Worth
And look, on
doing.
this map, this is the big hold point
Oh.
anyway. Great barrage there by JTD. Gets 1. Just not enough to get Ginger Ninja, though, unfortunately. Going to be disappointed
Yeah,
with that
but
result.
taking down Gravy there, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to take down that splash damage dealer, it's a good way to be.
Weldo's taking quite a few hits there. The mid goes in to soak
Oh,
it up.
and a great
Another
ult
good
from a
ult,
mid.
but
Is he
no
gonna take
follow-up on
advantage?
the damage. Gets Jake down there. Oh, there's another...
Now, the thing that is being done really well here, and not a lot of people realise this, at least in the games that I've played,
Heroes
when
never
you're
die.
within Zarya's Graviton Surge, you can still use certain mechanics. So what we've seen Jake do twice is actually pop that barrier, which has saved his team almost both of those times.
Yeah, it's looking good. Well, here we go. Looks like Shimada's going to get right up there, and no one there to do to get them away. So that should be round 2 for Shimada Clan.
Really well played there.
Clean sweep. Not too bad at all. I'm guessing this is going to be a Jornada res.
Thermal Lance res. Yep.
I was close.
This was
was
just
close.
so
In fact,
well
same
done.
character,
This
so it
is the
counts.
res Mercy's dream of.
Not too
And
bad.
brings out the pistol at the end there for a little bit extra damage. So good.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that team, they had a couple of people playing Mercy over the 2 rounds. They were full of mercy. They were merciful.
You guys can't see this, but
And
the
we'll
face
be back
he's giving
for
me
Game
is
2 in just a
rank.
moment. Game 2 of Slipstream versus Shimada Clan coming up next, only on the Position 1 Overwatch Open
On the
Skirmish
Position
2016
1
Open Skirmish.
Skirmish Open.
Game 2 coming up next.
Game 2. 2 games.